Camels continue to be the most preferred species for utilizing the harsh climatic conditions of the dry lands. They are part of the culture of the pastoralist community in Kenya and have continued to increase in percentage of their livestock over the years due to their adaptation. Giving a pastoralist a camel in northern Kenya is directly enhancing food security and building resilience against harsh climatic shocks, therefore improving access to health, education, nutrition, and clothing for their families. The northern part of Kenya is largely occupied by pastoralists who are regularly confronted with high climatic shocks and episodes of drought that plunge them into massive hard die-offs and loss of scarce wealth.
The change in climate has really hampered life of pastoralists because most of them have lost these animals to drought, hence leaving them in a destitute situation.
Marsabit, one of the counties in northern Kenya, is a vast covering approximately 12% of Kenya, with variable landscape and climate, mainly inhabited with mobile pastoralists whose main livelihood relies on livestock. In 2010 and 2011, Marsabit County faced a climatic disaster and a food crisis from drought that affected badly the communities, resulting in lack of pasture and water, leading to massive loss of livestock and a major livelihood support to the households. An estimated 40% to 60% deaths of camels and small stock respectively were lost, making families experience eroding coping strategies and jeopardizing pastoralists' resilience and survival capacities. The Pastoralist Community Initiative Development and Assistance, PACIDA, is an indigenous, non-sectarian, non-governmental organization based in Marsabit, Kenya. PACIDA is concerned with, among others, the need to facilitate and champion the target community by empowering them through integrated programs built on positive cultural and modern practices to utilize available local resources and enhance sustainable livelihoods and development in the framework of the disaster risk reduction.
PACIDA ensures that these pastoralists live in harmony. These pastoralists live a better life that can add value to them, not just keeping livestock for prestige purpose, but to enhance their lifestyle and their livelihood.
Through the funding of Neighbors in Need and Caritas, Austria, PACIDA conducted a restocking program to reconstruct and rehabilitate lives and livelihoods of the communities affected by the effects of the drought disaster in northern Kenya.
We even did assessments by visiting communities and talking to them, and all these stakeholders, including the communities, identified restocking as the appropriate for these people.
Since camels are resilient to drought and provide multiple benefits to the families in terms of transportation, milk production, and community value, they are well placed as source of livelihood to replace and restock loss of livestock realized in this region.
The communities identified camel as their preferred stock that should be restocked with. The main reason as to why these communities identified camels are because of they are more resilient to drought. They also provide other support to the pastoralists, such as providing proactive form of transportation in the desert terrain, which is being inhabited by these communities, and they also continue providing milk longer than all other livestock species have dried up. So that is why these communities have really identified camels as the most preferred stock to be restocked with.
The project distributed 1,550 female camels, 750 load camels, and 75 service bulls, totaling to over 2,300 camels. The female and load camels directly benefited 775 and 750 households respectively, totaling to 1,525 households, representing 9,150 pastoralist women, men and children in the targeted areas.
It became clear that will not change immediately, and they do not have alternatives immediately on keeping animals and keeping their lives. That's their life they were used to, And why camels was quite clear, because they are the most resistant animals for them. They explained it quite clear. They are very useful for transport. They're very useful giving milk to the babies and all that. So for them it's their life. That's what they said. And finally the decision was quite easy. Beneficiaries
were excited and their hope rejuvenated by receiving the camels. Each family that received a camel could not hide their joy, and accompanied with other family members, they escort the precious animal to their home.
Camel is the most valued animal, other than the shorts and the cattle.
Nasaidia na maswa tena wakati ya sherehe hiyo gabra, wakati akiwa msichana bila ngamia hawezi wa msichana, itakusaidia hivi tu.
Active participation of the beneficiary communities in the identification of beneficiary criteria and of suitable recipient helped to ensure appropriate targeting and also facilitate an open process of selection and avoid resentment. Since the target beneficiaries already have knowledge and experience in care and management of provided livestock, the project intervention used fairly young, productive animals from local breeds or from similar environs, as this is well adapted to local conditions, including environmental conditions and diseases. The distribution was to take into consideration optimal availability of pasture, fodder, crop residues and water in a bid to maximize productivity and growth while minimizing the negative environmental impact on the livestock provided.
As we champion for these people to live to their life, but building on positive aspect of living to their nomadic lifestyle.
The pastoralist way of life is interesting in the sense that camel receiving persons or groups should be accompanied by rewards to the camel giver, and that the beneficiary community do not like receiving camels without giving something little to the camel giver.
What PACIDA did under this project was traditionally these communities, whenever they, let's say, get camel from a relative or from their neighbors, was that they have to, next year they have to pay something. So as a result, PACIDA also incorporated the traditional culture into this project, whereby the beneficiaries were able to pay shots in return. For every family which received a female camel, they produced 3 shots, 2 female and a male. For a family which received male camel, they produced 2, that is 1 female and 1 male.
The camel beneficiaries contributed 6,150 shots to support restocking 615 families to recover from the disaster. Distribution of shots was done for the communities which did not benefit from camel distribution but are predominantly short keepers for their livelihoods. Each benefited household received 10 shots.
Nimepata mbuzi 10 na nimeshukuru sana sababu atanisaidia. Hii mbuzi atanisaidia sababu nikikulisha mzuri atasaa, naweza kamua hata maziwa nikunywe nayo na chai. Umesikia? Nikikuwa na njalali kama iko kama ile dume kama anakuwa kubwa, hata ningeuza nikapata pesa.
The main reason as to why now we extended to these other communities was to build trust, to build confidence between these communities, because we don't want to see a situation whereby the livestock that we provide to the communities the following day are taken by the wearing group.
PACIDA envisions bridging the gap between the local community and the outside world through community-driven development initiatives for long-term sustainable benefits.